What's up guys, my name is Ace, and sometimes COD developers like to slip in little stealth patches where they don't tell us what they did, but they change something really small, especially when it comes to weapon balancing. You don't see this too often, but I just found out the MP-40 was actually stealth nerfed in the most recent update. In the patch notes for that update, they mentioned that they reduced the recoil a little bit to make it more in line with the PPSH. And that was the only thing they mentioned when it comes to the MP-40. So supposedly in that update, the MP-40 got an excellent buff. It turns out at the same time, it also got nerfed in the rate of fire department. If you guys remember back to the end of December, the MP-40 got a very noticeable buff to its fire rate. They actually buffed it to be right in line with the PPSH at 722 rounds per minute. This had a very noticeable impact on its time to kill, and that buff has held true until the most recent balancing update that we had last week. In that update, at least for PS4, it appears that rate of fire was reverted to the original 681 round per minute rate of fire, which is a noticeable change. Now, I haven't been using the MP-40 a ton since that update, so I didn't really pick up on this at first, but I was doing some testing for a video that you guys will see coming in the very near future, and the numbers just weren't adding up. So I double-checked, I triple-checked, and the rate of fire was definitely nerfed for the MP-40. If we put these clips side by side here, on the left we have the MP-40 just before the update. This was literally the day before that update, and then on the right side we have the MP-40 just after the update. When you break it down frame by frame towards the end, you will see very clearly that the pre-patch MP-40 is empty several frames before the post-patch MP-40, and these several frames, even though it might not look like much when you're just looking at it side by side here, this does translate to a noticeable change in the rate of fire, and therefore a somewhat noticeable change in time to kill. So it turns out I'm not going crazy here. This was definitely stealth nerfed, and I'm not too sure why they didn't mention this specifically. Perhaps it was some sort of a bug where it was unintentionally reverted, or perhaps it was intentional to compensate for the fact that they were changing up their recoil properties and they didn't want it to be far superior to the PPSH. But in either case, I just wanted to make sure you guys had all the right information here. The MP-40 was stealth nerfed in the most recent update. This doesn't mean that it's suddenly a bad gun. It's still a great SMG, especially after the update with the more controllable and predictable recoil. It's still a great SMG to use. I just wanted to make sure you guys had all of the right information here for all of you guys that pay really close attention to the specific rate of fire and everything like that. The MP-40 isn't quite as good as you may have thought. And with that, we're going to wrap up this super quick video. I'd like to know in the comment section below, is there anything else that you've noticed that felt a little bit off after the update? I'm always happy to test things if you feel like something may have changed but it wasn't mentioned. Most of the time, nothing actually changed and it's just a placebo or you're just remembering it wrong. But every once in a while, you do find things like this that have been stealth nerfed, and I always want to make sure the community has the most accurate information. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.